Threats come in all shapes and sizes, not just in a digital sense, but also in the real world, but especially where the two worlds collide. The most successful kinds of hacks are the ones where the victim goes about the normal course of business and is unaware of how their own actions facilitate an attack. This past week, we saw juice jacking back in the news, and there's a reason why the FBI tweeted a word of caution not to use USB ports in public places to charge our devices. The race to attack via cables has not stopped. Take, for example, the O.MG Elite cable. And the same idea is also applied to USB Ethernet adapters that themselves have built-in mini computers designed to have additional payloads. Now, I have a LAN turtle right here at my desk, and it works exactly as advertised. Lockbit ransomware is now targeting Mac devices, and we don't often see ransomware on an Apple or Mac computer, and even this one looks like it was just a test, as it also included older PowerPC code. So this group is clearly casting a very wide net. Once they have remote access to a computer, they're not going to want to let it go. So we still don't know if the hackers that have access to Western digital systems were able to compromise any client data, but it does shed a light on cloud-based storage, and that means our data is stored on someone else's network, which should require us to think with a security posture accordingly. CISA and partners issue Secure by Design principles for software manufacturers. This new strategy calls for critical infrastructure owners and operators to meet minimum security standards and will potentially expose software companies to liability for flaws in their products. This could not be happening soon enough. In our last story for the day, Google releases an urgent Chrome update. So if you haven't done that yet today, make sure you update your Chrome or Chromium-based browser. This exploited zero-day vulnerability brought to the forefront this awareness that when this happens, instantly 3 billion devices around the world are vulnerable. This is not healthy. This level of concentration or monoculture in a browser is very, very risky. So consider using an alternative browser like Chrome, which in many cases has built-in defense mechanisms to avoid such exploitations. And did you know that there's a new season of World's Greatest Con podcast? There's some strong language, but it's otherwise a highly recommended podcast series, a new season, as a social contagion story. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.